Alright, guys. Hope you can hear me properly. Sorry, I got the AC blasting in this car. We have made it to September 6th, 2023. I'm about to go view one of these apartamentos. Okay. So I got my map telling me what to do. I should be there in 21 minutes. Okay. We don't need this map talking. I can't think while it's talking. So yeah, like daily recording episode. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling pretty enthused, energized, energetic. Not really, actually. I don't know. I'm feeling all right. I'm not feeling bad. So yeah, I'm just driving through town, headed to one of those apartment shopping gigs. So I decided to hit record, pulled over near a few houses, like a block or so down past my house to kind of hit record. So, I don't know, man. So I guess, yeah, yesterday I had probably one of the best workouts at the gym that I've had in a long time. It was probably my most energetic workout in a while, my most motivated workout in a while. I don't know what's up with my skin. I think I have mosquito bites or something. I did find a flea the other day. I don't know where the heck that came from. Like, we don't even have like pets or animals, but I've only seen one. Like I haven't seen a flea in our house in like ages. It might have come from that cat. There's like a stray cat that my mom feeds. Maybe it was from that. I mean, there's other kinds of wildlife around, but we don't really get bugs. I don't know if this is a mosquito bite or a flea bite. I've seen mosquitoes. Not in the house. I've seen flies get in. My window, the screen in my bedroom window it's kind of like cut at the top. I don't know why. It was cut at the bottom before. Like originally, like way back, like before even high school, I cut the screen. I cut a little hole in the screen because I was trying to be a little naughty and I was getting into like smoking and pipes and things like that. And my friends were teaching me about like screens for smoking. And I was like, oh, like I don't have a screen. And I was like, well, what do they look like? Like, what is a screen like? And they kind of were like, educating me about it. And I was like, well, maybe I can just use like a screen, like part of the screen from my freaking bedroom window. I mean, I'm not gonna it was back before I was like making money, really. Like I would get like allowance and stuff, but it was back before I was like working. So it's not like I had real access to be like buying all kinds of like stuff for smoking. But I like to have stuff on me, even though I wasn't like always smoking or whatever, but I kind of just like to carry lighters, and like on occasion I'd buy pipes at Venice Beach and I like to carry them around. And every now and then I gave out like a couple bullets and stuff. Like I've given them to people and just had them and stuff, but like I carried it around and stuff way more than I was ever really smoking. It was just something that interested me. It was like kind of like a subcultural thing that I was just kind of like around. And so I just kind of gravitated towards it because I never really had like a negative impression of it. It's just, I grew up in a churchy environment, and of course most churches don't really teach you that you should be smoking weed. There are some religious groups, Rastafarians and other groups that don't really think it's like a big issue, and most churches are very misinformed about weed specifically. Like usually they would probably promote cigarettes before they would promote cannabis products, but like they probably would be like, oh, maybe you're not supposed to smoke, but they just promote that maybe a little more. So yeah, I'm kind of I don't know what's up. Like I got some melatonin. I've talked about it. I don't think it's working. Either the dosage is too low, or it's just not working. I don't know why. So I'm probably gonna go back to the cannabis products tonight, because last night I took a little bit. My goal was to take a little bit of a cannabis product and then a little bit of melatonin, and I ended up taking the same, like, higher amount of melatonin as well as the cannabis, and so it was too. It just wasn't effective, and so I don't know what that's all about. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced melatonin not really working. Like 10 milligrams is a lot, like, and 15 milligrams is what I've been taking for the last, like, I don't know if it's been like 3 nights or something. But I did have caffeine the other mornings. Yesterday I had a workout that was really good, but I did have C4 around like noon or 12:30 or so before the gym, and so it kind of makes a little sense that I was up last night, but the other nights I don't really understand, because like I had just had my regular morning coffee and hadn't been working out or anything. Like, my anxiety was pretty high over the weekend. I had like 3 days where I just was not feeling good, and I was like, I am done. Like, I gave myself those days free. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like keep going hard. So I did kind of cut back a little bit on my schedule, because I could afford to do so, and I was like, energy wise that makes more sense, which is why I was able to go to the gym and get such a good workout in and all that stuff. Like, I think it all came in handy that I did skip the gym for like 3 days, and I did kind of rest more than usual. And yesterday my energy felt really good. Like, yesterday I mostly felt pretty great. So I'm just not sure. Like, I'm kind of like not so sure as to why things are weird with my sleep. As we all know, my energy fluctuates anyways. It's like I've always had some kind of energy issues. That's not so far out of the norm for me. So when things like this happen, I'm not usually going to be like too upset. I'm just like, I'm not too upset, but I'm just like, okay, I just gotta wait for things to kind of get back to normal. But I'm trying to do what I can on my end. That's why I went and purchased the melatonin, was because my sleep was already crappy for a while there. So, this traffic sucks. So because my sleep had been pretty lame for a pretty long time, I was like, okay, like, I want to like fix that. So I just stopped not having melatonin. The thing is with cannabis, I love it, but it takes longer to kick in if it's not smoking. I don't like smoking every night. It does help if I'm gonna go to sleep like immediately, but sometimes I like to just kind of slowly doze and not just like sleep like right away, if that makes sense. Like I like that time between kind of. Man, traffic is picking up so much. I was supposed to be like 8 minutes early. Now I'm gonna be like 3 minutes early. These stupid lights, man, they take so long. Traffic is really getting worse. I hope I'll still be on time. I hate being late for stuff, even though it's flexible. But yeah, like I was pretty I don't know how to describe it. I was pretty like I don't know. Just I'm trying to like figure out my sleep, basically. That's what's been going on. That's the only thing that's been kind of like maybe a little bit stressful, is just that I'm tired. So today I'm doing this gig and I'm tired. My energy started dipping hard around like 1, and I'm still kind of like okay, it's not that hard, just go do it, you know? Like all I have to do is like pay attention and like go and like view this apartment and listen to them talk and like ask relatively, you know, just act nice and stuff and like ask questions that make sense and listen and stuff and like act like a normal interested person. But I am maybe not too I don't really know. I don't really even know what to say. Like, today's kind of supposed to be my day off. I posted my car for sale again last night. Caught up with watching The Chi. New episodes tomorrow night, so I'm glad that I watched it. It wasn't too stressful of an episode. That's why I was putting it off, because I was having all those like days where I couldn't really tolerate watching too much, you know, heavy stuff. So I put it off, and now I'm just like, okay, like I don't really need to worry. So yeah, I'm a little so today I had a couple people contact me about this car that I'm selling. One of the first people tried to call me like 2 or 3 times last night. I put specifically in the message to text. People do not pay attention to these messages, guys. They do not pay attention. So I put specifically to text, but you know, people call and stuff. It's like, I'd rather just have everything in writing. So I don't really like it when people try to like be texting me and like not texting me and stuff. I'm like, just text me. Like, if you want to get in touch with me, just the easiest thing is to text me. Like, I hate talking on the phone. It's so annoying. I'd rather just like tell people in writing, but I'm like, the ad is there, so all they need to be contacting me about is what's the actual address, when can I come look. And so to me it's a tad confusing that people can't do that. Like, it's like, to me, I try to make it easy. Like the other times, I think I made it too hard for them. You know, I made it too complicated, and I put all the things that were wrong with the car, but I'm like, I'm selling it as is, you know, not working, you know. But I think when people saw that, it gives them too much hope, and they're like, their mind, they're like, oh, I'm gonna take this car and fix it up. And so in their mind, they're like, well, I want to get it really, really, really cheap, like $200, $400 for a car that does drive. Like, I can't say if it's reliable. it did stall the last time I did actually drive it in May, which is why I towed it home, and that was my last straw where I was like, I'm not going to fix it after this point. But ever since then, you know, I've driven it barely, like a little, like down to the corner and stuff. So it does start every day that I try to start it. It does run and drive at least to the corner and back. Like I don't notice any other like direct issues other than the fact that I know that it stalled that other time and I did have some trouble with it. But even the day when it stalled, they towed it and parked, you know, had it like parallel parked out front of the house, and then I was able to just start it and drive it up into the driveway. So I don't know what was going on with those few minutes, and even when the tow truck came, I was able to start the car and drive it up onto the lift. And so I really don't know what the heck the problem was. Like, I am not a mechanic, but it already had issues during the this was May. It already had issues New Year's Eve. Before that, it already had issues June and July before that, like in 2022. So I'm like, you know, how many times, like, what am I going to fix it every 5 to 6 months? Like, I'm kind of over it, you know, and I have this other car that's my brother's that I can drive. So I'm kind of like, why the heck would I keep paying to fix this? Like, as long as it runs, I'm selling it. But people want to buy it as if it's like I'm just selling like a bumper or something. I'm like, dude, the bumper itself is worth more than $400. The tires themselves are worth more than $700, you know, and it's got some relatively new parts on it. So I'm selling it for the parts. So I'm not even like trying to give people hope that it's going to run. I'm just like, if you're not a mechanic, you probably shouldn't buy it. You know, it's probably not going to be for you. It's not going to be a good fit. Because a lot of people, you know, yeah, they're going to want to fix it and start driving it. But, you know, there's a little bit that they're going to have to do. And I put in the ad that, you know, they must tow. You know, be prepared to tow the car if you're buying it. Be prepared to tow it. So I already put that they must tow. So I'm 6 minutes from where I need to be. Yeah, so I've already put that they are required to tow it. They're responsible for towing it. And so I'm acting as if it just doesn't even run, even though it does. But yeah. Yeah, I had to like kind of, you know, people try to contact. So the first guy who was calling all the time, I just left it because it was last night. It was like after 10. I'm like, I'm not answering my phone. And then they texted me, I saw this morning, because I have all my notifications off. So they texted me, I saw, and they were like, I was trying to call you about your car. Can you call me back? And, you know, the first person who texted me last night, I texted him back this morning and told him the schedule when they can come by. And I told them, tell me exactly when, between 11 and 1. They couldn't tell me, like, the actual time. They're like, yeah, between 11 to 1. And, like, you know how it is. You can tell when someone's, like, BSing. But it's, like, you got to just say it. So, like, you know, it was like 12:20. They hadn't even contacted me. And I'm like, who's going to look at a car for, like, 20 minutes and, like, buy it? So, because they weren't they weren't contacting me, I was like, because I was like, let me know when you're on your way. I was like, at 12:20, even though I said until 1, I was like, at 12:20, I was like, sorry, I'm busy. I'm not available anymore. So don't come view it. Because they never responded since like 9 in the morning. Because I was like, tell me exactly what time you want to come by. They didn't. And so I'm like, I'm not waiting around all day for these people. And then that other person who called me, I called them back. It was a man. And then he hands a woman the phone. Or a lady, I don't know. It sounded like a woman. And I was like explaining, they're like, oh, does it drive? And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, okay, you know, the two questions they were asking me, I was like, did you see the ad? And she's like, well, no, like, I haven't really looked at it yet. Can you send it to me? And I'm like, how do people know to call me if they've never seen the freaking ad? Like, what is that all about? You know, like, I don't understand what that's all about. Like, how do they know to call me if they've never seen the ad? And so I'm like trying to explain about the car, and I'm like, you know, let me just send you the ad so you can look at the ad. Because I'm like, well, she's trying to act like, oh, she's just going to drive it off my driveway. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to get it insured first. Like, you can't just like drive. Like, it's not, you can't legally drive it right now. Even if it did run and drive you all the way to your house, you're illegally driving. You're illegally operating a car that's not insured right now. And so, like, it's not insured even under me at the moment, which is why I let it lapse, because I'm like, I'm not paying monthly insurance on a car that I'm not going to use. So they'd have to pay $14 to the DMV and then pay the insurance if they're actually going to drive it. But I listed it like just for the parts. If you're buying it for the parts, the car is fine, buy it for the parts. So, but otherwise, if you're not buying it for the parts, like, I don't know why we're talking. Like, like, people keep asking, about how it drives and stuff. It's like, I understand their goal is to fix it up and whatever, but I'm like, this time when I posted the ad, I'm like, okay, like, let me not even give people hope that the car is going to run. Like, let me just list it as just the parts. Come by, pay for the car, tow it, do what you got to do from that point. It's out of my hands. Like, I'm not trying to deal with other people, like, oh, I need to get to work tomorrow and all. It's like, that's not my problem. Like, but that's something somebody said last time. That wasn't from today. But yeah, just the amount of people I've dealt with so far by phone, I'm just like, dude, like, what is up? And I've gotten countless other phone calls that I'm not even taking phone calls, because it's like, why are you calling me? Like, I said in the thing to text me, like I said in the ad to text me, and then they can't even follow the instructions. So it's kind of just weird to me. I tried to make it simple because I'm trying to make it easy for myself, because the last time when I was trying to sell it, people were trying to do some weird version, like, oh, if I go get it fixed and it doesn't work and like all this. I'm like, no, that has nothing to do with me. If I sell it as is right now, cash, give me the cash, I give you the keys, we sign some paperwork just to confirm, and I have it audio recorded or video recorded for proof, so you can't come back and be like, I'm gonna sue you because this car doesn't run. Like, I already know it's gonna need repairs over and over. Even if you repair it, unless you're a mechanic who's gonna be repairing it all the time, it's gonna keep needing repairs. That's why I don't want it. I'm like, I'm not trying to fix it now and then fix it again. Like, I've already fixed it like 3 times in the last 12 months. So I don't really see the point in like keeping on trying like that. But like, for myself, I'm like, what am I getting out of this? Alright, let me see, maybe I can park here. I'm kind of far, but yeah, guys, I'm like a little frustrated, but it's not like a huge deal. It's just a mild frustration. So that's what I've been dealing with mostly today. So yeah, that's that. I'll continue once I'm done viewing this apartment, because I'm not done talking yet.